what is an option route? What's a choice route? With Shador Sanders' comments over the offense last year and the choice routes and the option routes, we've been getting a lot of questions asking us like, hey, what's an actual option route? What's a choice route? So today's video, or this video, is going to be a little bit different than a lot of our other videos. We usually don't do a ton of like football education type stuff. There's a lot of really smart guys out there do a really good job at that. But we're going to go ahead and just talk about what an option route is. And I'll use some examples of plays that we had in college and what those schemes and those routes were. Basically, a choice route is just you're trying to get the defense to make the wrong decision. And depending on what the decision that defender makes, the offensive position player, the receiver, tight end, running back, will have some different options that they can run, right? So you basically have a few different options that you can run on the snap of the ball, and depending on what the safety or corner is doing, will dictate what route you're supposed to run. So it's really important for the quarterback and receiver to be on the same page. And we're going to use this. I got a little setup for us, and we'll go through maybe 3 or 4 different option routes. The first one we'll talk about will be maybe the most complex, and we'll kind of dial it down. Maybe I should have gone like most simplest to most complex, but oh well. All right, so let's dive into it. We're going to do the first option route here, and we just have a basic 3-4 defense here, 2 up top safeties, 2 corners. We'll say the linebackers kind of split out towards there, and then we kind of just have 10 personnel, right? 1 running back, and then 2 receivers on each side of the ball. So don't worry about this right now, this side. Just worry about this receiver right here. So this is what we call an umbrella route. You have an option to run basically anything in the book depending what the safety is doing, right? So this would be that no receiver is coming over here backside. So the backside maybe doing a hitch or something seams, and that would mean that this receiver here is running a short route, an inside 5-yard dig or hitch or something like that. And then we have this receiver can do whatever they want, and it would dictate on the safety. So this is the umbrella, right? It kind of just makes that little umbrella. So depending what the safety does would depend what this receiver is able to do. So for example, if at the snap of the ball, you have two safeties, right? So pre-snap look, you're probably thinking, okay, he's probably going to either do a dig route or a post route or something like that because he's trying to get inside. But let's say snap of the ball, this safety shifts down, this safety shifts up, and we have either cover 1 or cover 3 or something. So then this receiver would now no longer run a post. They would maybe run a seam, but now you're more likely to run a corner or an out route here, right? Safeties come this side of the field, so then this receiver can run to the other direction compared to if it was, let's say, like a cover 2 or even a cover 4, like this safety here, corner up here, drop that here. Then now you're actually not going to be able to run the seam. You're not running the corner. You're not running the out. You're going to have to either sit down or run the post, depending what these safeties are doing here, right? So it's important for the quarterback and receiver to be on the same position. So this is just an umbrella route. This is the most complex one there probably is. And the reason you wouldn't have this receiver run a go route is because you don't want him to have the option to go outside, right? So if let's say this receiver was running a go route, then this would be, we call this like sand option. Let me erase this. Boom, boom. I apologize. Then your only options would be probably seam, post, dig, or sit down because you wouldn't want them to run into that receiver running a go route, right? Okay, so let's look at a few more options here. Actually, last point here, you can have options on both sides. So sometimes, like, depending on the scheme, you would have, okay, this is your read side, this is your option side, then you have like backside routes. Let's call it like double slants or something. That's like something that we would do. Gosh, that's awful. I apologize for my penmanship, whatever it's called. But yeah, let's say double slants. So then you can still do anything here, and then you have backside routes. But sometimes you would have an option on backside too. So let's say, for example, here, again, this is why it can get complex, but this is why, a lot of high-level offenses do it, and NFL offenses do this. But they run options from high school, college, pro, whatever. All right, but you can still run an option here, but now your option here is just a seam, a corner, or an out, and so this receiver has the option to run out, corner, seam, routes that are taking you towards the sideline, where this receiver has routes taking you toward the middle of the field. So they're still not crossing, running into each other, if that makes sense. And this receiver down here, your X or your Z, depending on what you go by, would be a shallow route, not to get in the way here. Okay. So it really just depends on what the safety is doing, right? The safety is, if you're one high look, two high look, you might have a post snap or pre snap read. Then post snap, safeties move, especially in today's game of football, and then you have to make an adjustment. So it can be complex for sure. All right, let's erase this real quick, and then let's do a few other option routes. How about? Yeah, so we'll do a little basic option route here. How about? So you can have choice routes. Like those are your most extreme options, where you're reading your safety, depending on what the safety does, depending on what you do. Let's look at the receiver down here. Where's the best angle? Actually, let's look at this X. Let's look down here. Let's have this be read side. So let's say this receiver is running something vertical. This receiver has the option as well. So let's say the option route is the X down here. Slot guy is running something vertical. This receiver has the option to, let's say, depending on the if it's inside coverage, outside coverage, you'll have the option to either do a hitch, or actually, let's say this receiver is running a go or a corner, like a smash concept. So depending on what this safety does, if this safety is going to bail, or depending on what the safety does, you have the option to run the hook or to come inside. So this would be like a choice read here for the receiver. So I'm sorry, this is such bad penmanship, I apologize. But let's say the CB, like the cornerback, has some off coverage. So you run the hitch here. The cornerback is just staying there. It kind of has off coverage, but has it covered. Let's say the quarterback, after a second or two of reading, after this receiver clears, this receiver could have the option to now come in. So it's still underneath the route. You're not getting in the way here, but you go down, you sit down. If this corner plays off, you don't want to stay covered. So then you get uncovered and you come in, right? So that's another choice route, another option route where it's an underneath route, but you still have an option there. So that's a little more of a simple, complex, or a little more simple route where, hey, he bails, but he's still chilling. Come inside, get in the vision of your quarterback. And that's assuming the linebacker is not out here, right? That's assuming the linebacker is here, coming up here, doing something like that. All right, let's go over one more easy option route. Again, there are probably videos that do a hell of a better job explaining it than I do. But the biggest thing is just trying to make the defender decide what to do, and then you do a route that runs away from where they are. Okay, so now let's go running back. Running backs will have lots of choice routes as well. And let's say this receiver's here. This backer splits out here. He's a slot corner. Let's say he's taking him here, up top safety. And let's say this person's doing something as well. And so now let's say you got man with this linebacker here, the inside linebacker. So this running back has a choice route. So snap of the ball, running back is coming up here. If the backer stays kind of like inside technique, inside coverage, like the backer stays here, the running back will now run out. That's his option to run out. The quarterback can get the ball out quick, especially if the corner is bailing. Let's say at the snap of the ball, let's move this out of the way. So let's say the receiver runs up here. This backer that was here is taking him to the slot corner. Snap of the ball, running back's coming out this way. The backer bails hardcore to this area. This backer comes. So now the middle of the field is open. So now the running back has a choice. Okay, the backer is now more in the outside technique area. Now you come in, almost like a little angle route, right? So backer stays inside, running back runs outside. Backer shoots outside, running back runs inside, right? Simple kind of stuff here. It really just depends where the backer is. So this just gives the offense more options to succeed. Let's see, we gave this guy a Y. I loved option routes. Now, obviously, I wasn't very successful at them because I'm here talking on YouTube and not playing. But if you're on the same page as your receiver, like it can be deadly, but you have to be on the same page. The biggest option routes really do just depend on what the safety is doing. Pre-snap is one thing, but you have to realize pre-snap doesn't mean that that's going to be the coverage. Pre-snap is one thing, and the safeties can shift, and now you have one up-top safety. So now all of a sudden, all your routes are going outside as opposed to inside because you have one up-top safety, or you have like a robber here. So up-top safety, robber here. They're trying to bait you to maybe throw this dig route, but the route would be to do that seam or that corner, right? as atrocious drawing here, right? So the option routes, the choice routes that we went over, we did the umbrella first, which was the umbrella was just a big stem with a post, corner, dig, out option. We had that choice route option with the outside safety where they can sit down the hitch route or kind of come do a small, shallow dig route. And then we had the choice route with the running back, where if the linebacker gets outside, you go inside. If the linebacker stays inside, you shoot outside, right? And there's other option routes as well, but these are kind of like maybe some of your main ones that you'll see in an offense. And a lot of it, depends on what the other receiver is doing. Not every receiver is going to have an option route on the play. That would lead to some chaos. Usually there's like one main read that's your option guy, maybe a backside route or two. But again, just a quick breakdown over option routes, choice routes. Again, people were asking us about it, so I figured we would just give our 2 cents. We did it in college. We did it in high school. And so this is kind of this from our experience. And there's probably people that know, not probably, there are people that could speak a lot better on it than we could. But if you like this type of video, one, consider subscribing. We do a lot of quarterback content. We cover college football quarterbacks. But if you enjoy this type of video, maybe want some more of these like kind of X's and O's stuff, let us know. We'll keep it surface level, but if you want to know like different concepts and schemes, what you read for, just let us know, and we'll try to put out some more videos like that. But thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. We'll see you next time. Peace.